Good morning. It's 9 a.m., March 31st. See, do I have this thing on? Yeah, it's on. 2023 on a Friday morning. It's on 20. Mute that one. I've got audio confirmation. Mute this one. And mute this one. Okay. Let's go look at chat. Today is Windows Daily number 187. I guess I probably ought to go ahead and declare I'm a little bit under the weather today. I might cut this short today. Not sure yet. Robert, good morning. Bobby, second. Nick Poverman. My wife asked me to stop singing I'm a Believer by the Monkees because she found it annoying. At first, I thought she was kidding, but then I saw her face. Now I'm a believer. Good one, Nick. Nick, I don't think your jokes qualify as dumb dad jokes. They're just a little bit too clever for that. I enjoy your jokes. Thank you. Tim Sal, good morning. Tim Sal's off work today on a Friday. I don't know if that's always, are you always off on Fridays, Tim? Greg M. Sigh, one of my Chrome extensions may be causing ESET antivirus to flag a URL as phishing. Maybe one of my Chrome extensions may be causing ESET antivirus to flag a URL as phishing. Okay. Ran Israel, hi all. Selden Ball, morning all. Another dreary day, 44 degrees Fahrenheit and cloudy. At least the snow is all melted. Nick Poverman to Greg. I stopped using ESET because of this very reason. ESET is one of the antivirus products that I have used. Mostly I liked its offline scanner is when I would use it. But I tell you what, I so rarely come across reason to scan for virus at all anymore. It just isn't a thing anymore. Geez, back remembering the days of Windows 95, a couple times a month I'd have to do a serious virus remediation. Then Jim, lunch with the better half. We'll watch later. Well, enjoy your lunch. Zavi Manor, hello everyone. Tim Sal, yes, off on Fridays. I don't have much of a list. I don't have any emails that came in with questions. I don't have any comments on the channel to respond to. No questions in chat. I have an auto redirect set up to go to Ken Stout's Premiere. Usually on Fridays, I set up auto redirect to go to Kerry Holzman's live, but he hasn't scheduled it yet. And I do have a script, notes, bullet points. And this one is Big Beast Build locked up yesterday. So I'm going to tell that story. Yeah, then I might go show the CVAA newsletter. Tim Sal knows about that because it's got a couple of good funnies in it. I woke up with a headache this morning, so I'm on medication, feeling a little bit under the weather, and I think I'm going to, after the show's over today, I just might call in sick. The problem with that is I'm calling in to myself to report that I'm taking a sick day. Now, sometimes he doesn't believe me. It depends upon which Doug I get. Do I get the irritated Doug? Do I get the tightwad Doug? Do I get the workaholic Doug? Or do I get the kind, supportive, generous, well-wishing Doug? Who knows? Oh, let's see. We got a couple other comments here. Friday is our overtime for me from Tim. If he works on Friday, I guess that's what that means. Greg to Nick, yeah, I have multiple browsers and was happening in both. No idea if it was a website or extension. Of course, it could be a false positive. Maybe could you test it by deactivating all of your extensions and see if you still get that URL being reported as a phishing site? I assume that's what you're telling us. Chit-chat between Ryan and Zavi. John Williams, hope you feel better today. We had bad thunderstorms last night. Noticed the tornado warning sirens were sounding off at 2:30 a.m. Tornado. See, I even have to read things over a couple times to grasp them. But then that's kind of a Doug thing anyway, isn't it? And also, I got a text message, but I've got great neighbors around here. We've got a couple of neighborhood text communities, and unfortunately, sad news, one of our neighbors lost a 21-year-old son recently, last day or two, to a car accident. I lost a cousin that way when he was 21 years old, long time ago. Dennis, phone works with old SIM. Both SIMs are the same network. I suspect they have deactivated my newer SIM due to lack of use. Dennis was reporting about this during our Fortnite game this morning. One of his phones was reporting not connected to the network, something to that effect. And he tried a few things to troubleshoot it. And apparently when he moved the SIM from one phone to the other SIM, now the other phone is working. So his conclusion is one of the SIMs is not working. And I think he was implying that that is a, prepaid account. And so he's saying they may have deactivated due to lack of use. Nick Poverman, did you ever set up the mini PC? No, actually, Nick, it's in the other room. I decided I'm going to return it. I haven't even broken the cellophane on that mini PC. And thinking about it yesterday, I haven't opened it up yet because I don't have a real need for it. I just kind of bought it on a whim when Carrie was demonstrating one of the mini PCs. I bought a really low-end unit. And I'm just not motivated to set it up because I don't have a use for it. And I need to be focusing more attention on my business right now. When you're self-employed, revenue kind of goes in waves. It's on a low wave and a high wave and a low wave. Well, right now it's on a low wave, and I feel like I really need to be spending more time. There's always things on my list that I could be doing for clients that are just so easy to procrastinate because there's no deadline, nobody's really caring about it. And so it's so easy to spend time on other things that are more enjoyable to do. And I just was realizing yesterday, I need to get this off of my plate. I can always buy one of those if I want it, but I just don't have a need to set it up. So enough said on that. I'm going to return it. I already did the thing through Amazon to return it. It's an easy return to do. And even though I've God, can't think. I've done the clicks on Amazon to return it. I could ignore that. I could keep it. I just don't have any reason to keep it. Jay Chrysandros, do you know why sometimes File Explorer hunts to display drive contents? No, I don't, and that bugs me too. There are times when that graphic takes a long time to go across, and I don't know why that happens. And I am interested in pursuing that if I can find a case where that happens repeatedly. Let's see if I go onto one of my drives. I've got a F drive. And I know when you search for something, it's common that it takes a long time to go across. But there are times, and on like when you connect a USB drive, that it takes a long time for that graphic to go across. And then sometimes just fails, particularly when you're doing searches. And no, I don't know why that happens, but I am interested in troubleshooting that, trying to figure that one out. Doug is having Cox come out tomorrow to redo some connection, I think. Ken Stout says, thanks for the redirect. Ken M. going through extensions one by one, so he's doing that. Now, what I would typically do is I turn them all off and make sure the symptom is gone. Because if it's not an extension, then you could take a long time going one by one. So I'll just turn them all off, see if I still have the problem. And then I'll turn half of them on, see if I have the problem. If I don't, then I turn the other half on. And sometimes when I've gone through a troubleshooting like that, I find that once I've turned them all off, I no longer have the problem. And then I get them all turned back on, and I still don't have the problem. So I'm reluctant to go one by one until you have it narrowed down to a group of them that have the problem. Rick Lake's back to snow shoveling today. You see me trying to relax my shoulders and neck. Ken Stout, did you happen to see the audio issue I was having last night? He did. Ken Stout did 2 live streams last night. I only watched the second one. I know the first one, I think, was about 20 minutes long. And it sounds like it was all audio troubles and issues. One of the things that he said was that he wound up restarting his computer because he had an echoing coming through when he had no tabs open. And he had the sound coming through his headset, and he had the sound coming through his speakers. And my understanding was it was the same sound, like his computer didn't get completely switched to his headset. That was just weird, Ken. And so that's all I heard about that. Let's see. Now, look at this. I cannot scroll down. It's not letting me scroll. There's an arrow there. I think it's not letting me scroll because of that menu. So I'll go click in the chat line here and now scroll down. Yes, I can. I know how it feels. Thankfully, no shoveling. No, I'm in an apartment. I am also intentionally talking a little slower because talking nonstop is extra stress all up here. It's very humbling to complain of a headache when a neighbor just lost a child. And Walter White, in my Fortnite chat this morning, I know Walter has told us about this before in the community, so I'm assuming he doesn't mind me mentioning, but he's going through chemotherapy and said in my Fortnite chat that he doesn't have much longer. I don't know if that means he doesn't have much longer for chemotherapy or he doesn't have much longer on life expectancy. Either way, my heart goes out to you, Walter White. I think he's told us before that's not his real name. He's appropriated that from the Breaking Bad show. Good morning. We just have rain here. Is that Big Beast behind you? Yes, Jesse, that is Big Beast behind me. Bada boom, bada bing, right there. 2 computers in 1. What is that? Certs or one of those gum? Double man? What is it? 2 computers in 1. Boom. Built by Kerry Holzman on several live streams. You can, if you go to his channel and just search his videos for Big Beast, you'll be able to find all the videos about that. Rick to Ken, we also had freezing rain, snow, a bit of mess here. Speedy C, hello. Greg M, yep, know that feeling about buying stuff, have to justify the expense. Yeah, I get, when the income is on the high side, I tend to spend more money on a whim, impulse buys. And then when it goes down lower, I start tightening up. Yes, it was a prepaid cell phone, the one that was having trouble with for Dennis. Jeff Ryman says, good morning. Ken to Jeff, you are first from Lost Wages. Chris says, good morning, everyone. Hellos back and forth. Ken Stout, yes, pretty much that was it. And it was the Zoom chat from both sources. Oh, so the Zoom chat was coming over the speakers and in the headset. Yeah. Jeff to Ken, live only in Lost Wages. Live only. Oh, Ken Stout live. See there? Under the weather, Doug. I thought live was part of Jeff's chat. No. Ken Stout Live is the channel name. Only in Lost Wages is what Jeff was saying. I have some pictures ready to show you about my lockup yesterday. Big B spilled lockup. Because it was a little different symptom than I've seen before. Let's see. I'm gonna turn the blur on for this. Because I've got a client's email there. I was in the midst of typing this email. You you can see my line of text there. And it locked up at this point, and there's the last 3 or 4 words there that are on the screen. You can't, I've got blurring there, so it looks really weird to you. But the computer's locked up right now. There was no blue screen, no error messages. I was in the midst of typing on the keyboard, and the next character simply did not type. And then I think I wasn't able to move the mouse around. Keyboard and mouse neither moved. Am I saying that right? I'm going to click the play button here. Look at the mouse. 11:18 on Thursday. Big Beast build just locked up. No error message. On the right-hand screen, I was in the midst of typing a reply email to a client, and I finished the words "that we can do," and then the keyboard just stopped responding. The mouse wouldn't move. I plugged in my mouse to the USB connection, because normally I have it disconnected from that wire and running off of wireless batteries. And then I realized that my XSplit, where it shows my picture in the lower right corner, was frozen in place. So here I'm hanging out waiting to see if it will unfreeze or give me an error message. I was expecting a blue screen, not getting it. Control Shift Escape for Task Manager is non-responsive. And I tried connecting to Big Beast from Baby Beast using that Log Me and Rescue, and that fails. It claims that it's online, but it fails to even prompt me for credentials. Now, I have a suspicion what caused it, because this is a very unusual type of lockup. I've had blue screen situations with Big Beast build, particularly if I have the capture device connected for capturing from Baby Beast while I have certain other programs running. So there's some things that I do that are just not compatible with each other. Now, the thing that was unusual in this instance, and I didn't even realize it at the time that I recorded that video, that I had just tested, I had performed a test of WebEx for a client, because I need to assist a client who has a court hearing coming up. And last time he did a WebEx with that particular judge, his equipment didn't work very well. So he wants me to help him ensure that it's going to work right. In fact, he's going to have me there in his office at the time of that conference, because he just cannot risk something going wrong again with that judge. Judges can get cranky. So that was still open in the background, and that uses microphone and camera. Well, I had XSplit open at the same time. So I'm just thinking there was some kind of conflict there, but it was weird that it happened right in the midst of typing. Then let's see, I've got some other pictures on that. So I think I've still got the blur set up, so I'm going to make sure that the blur is good enough here. You don't like it? Yeah, the blur looks good enough. You can see the subject line. You can read that out. Immigration court shows the date and time, but you can't make out his email address. This when I restarted the computer, this is after the restart. What you're seeing now is after the restart. And I opened the web browser, Google Chrome, and it told me some tabs were open. It didn't close properly. Do you want to reopen those? And I said yes. So it came up with this, and those last 3 or 4 words are missing. So the periodic save that Gmail does of a draft email had saved up to this point, and I lost the 3 or 4 words. Not a big deal, but it was just interesting to me that it brought that back. And then here, this message is when I added the additional words that were missing. I guess that doesn't really matter, but it gives me something to talk to you about when I'm really wanting to hit the end stream button and put this to bed. put me to bed. I'm going to go crash. I'm not going to work after this. I'm going to go crash. I'll go back to chat, and then I think I'm going to put this to bed. So you might have a little while to wait before Ken Stout's premiere starts. Ross Wages, Josh Kinder, hello. Yeah, Josh Kinder was on Ken's show last night. Saw that. Chris Garrett, I have jury duty next month. I'm going to wear my PJs and see what the judge says. Last time I went to jury duty, I got into the interview process. Oh, you're blurred still. I got into the interview process. And after they had hit me with a few questions, they come up with one question and they excused me with that one. They said, will you take a police officer's word over the defendant's word? And I said, no, I will not. Because I have had police officers pull me over and they were dead wrong about what they were claiming. Do you sense some bitterness in me towards that experience? Thank you, police officers, for your service, but some of them. Rest up and feel better, my friend, from Ken. Yeah, a nap is helpful with headaches in a darkened room. Santa Claus says, hope you feel better. Thank you, kind gentleman. Selden Ball, do take care of yourself. You deserve it after all the work you do. Thank you so much. Feel better. Get well. Have a good weekend. Are you streaming tomorrow? Yes, I am planning to stream tomorrow. I should be well over this by then. It's just a headache. Right now, it's not the headache that's troubling me. It's the medication that I use for it. It's also all the tension up here. All right. Oh, Ken, how I ended the stream so abruptly. My XSplit is configured to automatically send an end command to YouTube, but that doesn't always work right. When I click the red stream button in XSplit, XSplit stops sending the stream. So that's an abrupt end. In fact, it's so abrupt that it actually ends 2 or 3 words before I click the button. Meaning I click the button and you don't actually hear the last 1 or 2 words before I click the button because it stops sending to YouTube and there's some kind of latency or buffering in there. I don't know what it is. Now, when you click to end the stream from OBS, that might not be sending the end stream command to YouTube. So if you click the end stream button in the live studio, that might be a more abrupt end. But I saw you end pretty abruptly yesterday. Greg M says, well, feel better, all of the Dougs. All of Dougs. All right. So I'm going to try this. I'll give you a countdown. I'm going to end the stream from Live Studio. So here I'll show you the Live Studio. I'll click on this red end stream button up here. And I'll give you a countdown from, I'll go 3, 2, 1, 0, click. And when I say click, I am clicking on that. Oftentimes when I say click, I wait a little bit. But I think you might not hear the full countdown. So this is an interesting experiment. But XSplit is still sending, and I've never ended it this way, so I'm not sure how this is going to work. And you've also seen sometimes when I click the red stream button in XSplit to end the stream, and then the stream actually continues. It doesn't end. You're still watching me. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, 0, click.